Yes, Wilds, you are excellent.
And me?
Yes, you're also excellent, Arkveld, but this isn't about you.
Oh!
Hello, my fellow hunters! Ha! I am still reeling from every single incredible reveal we got in the 6th trailer yesterday. But what you might not know is that just kinda casually in the background, they released the benchmark tool for Monster Hunter Wilds. You can find it on the official Steam page for Wilds itself. It's the top option, it's free to download, it's about 25 gigs, and what this will do is tell you if your computer's going to be able to hold up to, well, Wilds. And unlike the upcoming open beta, which doesn't have the performance changes, the weapon changes and stuff, this benchmark tool has the performance that the game on launch will, in theory, have. Of course, nothing is guaranteed, things still might change, but essentially, this is what you want if you are at all unsure if you're going to be able to handle the full game, especially if the beta was a little bit rocky for you. And as a quick TLDR, yeah, good news! From my own testing, from what I've been seeing and hearing, we've got some significant improvements. But before all that, once you've got it, what are you actually doing? Well, it's fairly simple. It's as if you're on the main menu of the actual game, settings-wise. You want to go into them, have a little bit of a fiddle around. I turned motion blur off because I don't like motion blur, so there's no point having it actually drag things down. And once you're content, hit benchmark at the top of the main menu and just let it run. It'll play a mix of cutscenes, some hunty stuff, exploring the Windward Plains, and all sorts there within in between, lots of monsters, lots of vistas, and you'll see it chugging along with your FPS going up and down, giving you a score, and an average FPS. Now, you are fine to just kind of ignore this, let it play in the background, and then once you get to the end, you will get an actual score. You'll get your specs and a rating. Of course, if it says excellent for you, then you are more than good to go, but there is a whole range below that. That said, though, a few little recommendations. I wouldn't just completely ignore it and then just go on your score and average FPS, because that can be a little bit misleading. Of course, throughout the benchmark, there is much more intensive areas and not so intensive areas. What I would recommend is having a look at this moment here. When it fades from cutscene to actual gameplay, air quotes, and you walk out into the Windward Plains during the storm, do a bit of secreting, this is when I've seen the lowest dips. So have a look here, and if you're still happy with it, then yeah, you are more than good to go, as the rest of everything should generally be better. Of course, it's always worthwhile just watching the whole thing. I mean, it's Wildsy goodness, right? And we need every little bit we can get, but that's just something to point out. If you are a little bit on the struggling side, it'll let you know that you should change some settings, and you can certainly do that. There is a lot in these menus, and it's worth having a tinker around with, looking what's working for people, and making it happen. And then there's always frame generation, which if you have the capacity to turn on, it's been helping a lot, so it's something to think about. Now, for me, obviously, as you've seen, I'm kind of fine. My computer is about 3 years old nearly at this point. I want to say it's kind of hazy, but I've seen a lot higher scores in average FPS than even I'm getting, but I have no complaints personally. I did a score while literally recording, and then a score while not, and while not recording, I understandably gained about 8 average frames, which makes sense, because recording is fairly taxing, and for I think, best example is Lauren, aka my partner, aka the thumbnail artist, in that order, and she has a much older machine. We're talking 7-8 years, and in the initial beta, Wilds was just completely unplayable on it. It was kind of awful, like 5 FPS, stuttering, the whole screen looked like it was having a fit, and to quote her, her hunter's face looked like a pepperoni pizza. So, running it again now, it's still not brilliant, which is honestly not the game's fault. Again, it's a very old machine, and at a certain point you have to accept that you got to upgrade with the times, but very positively, I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than literally unplayable in the most definitive sense. I'm actually really impressed how much it has improved, like significantly, and it's almost to the point where we're kind of wavering on a planned upgrade, though I still think it's probably worth it just for maximum wildsness, but I think that definitely does show some improvement. And as I said, that's what's being mirrored in a lot of places. Some people still haven't seen any. Of course, every rig is different in configuration, but I am honestly quite happy with the change here, and I think it's very needed. I'm very glad this benchmark tool happened. I'm very glad it's come out before the beta, so people don't get mixed up with the fact the beta doesn't have performance changes, and this is really rather nice. And actually, the minimum required specs for Wilds on Steam have gone down too, which is another little indicator of the good work that has gone on behind the scenes. So with that said then, yeah, this is mostly just kind of a PSA heads up. The benchmark tool is a thing now. Get it if you're at all concerned your PC might not be able to handle the full release of Wilds, and then you will hopefully, and from the looks of things likely, be reassured that it will. And it gives you plenty of time to upgrade or change things if you are one of the few still struggling, which is also really good. Again, I'm very, very happy it has come out this soon. In any case then, I hope you are enjoying, well, still digesting all of this ridiculous new information. Like, what is just everything that was in that trailer, guys? I just can't cope. More breakdowns and details will be coming very soon because there is a lot that we have noticed, other people have noticed, and it is very worth talking about. Just you wait. But until then, for now, like if you have enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more, and until we meet again, consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. A good bye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.